What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a couple pain points I have with this game, but they're all related to things that Plarium tried to improve for the player base. Now, these three pain points I have are kind of more recent ones, so they're more top of mind. So I think most of you guys can kind of relate. And let me know in the comments below, of course, if you guys agree or disagree with my thoughts here. But first, let's start off with this. So we are having a CVC right now. So if we jump into the CVC tab, we can go into the clan shop, and the clan shop has been recently updated. So they've actually added these gilded medallions to some of the lower levels for the clan shop. Previously, they were all up here in the very, very high levels. Kind of see here, level 28, level 30 to unlock. It doesn't make any damn sense for them to be so high up. Now, Plarium said that they were going to rejig this a little bit and then bring some of these relic materials down lower, which makes the community pretty happy. But when the community sees this, at this price, you get a quarter of a rare crafting mat. You need 100 of these to make one rare. Like, the odds of making one rare is ridiculously high. And you have to pay 750 clan gold for it. In comparison, a void shard costs 900 clan gold. So you're literally paying 3/4 of a void shard for 1/4 of a rare relic. Now, if you guys don't know, a rare relic basically will come out of this relic craft, I don't know, 84% of the time, you're gonna get a rare relic. It's absolutely insane. You're paying 3,000 clan gold. Now, 3,000 clan gold is basically should be your entire take from doing all your Hydra chests if you're doing all three difficulties, as well as your CVC. You're not getting like 3,000 that easily. Obviously, there's more places where you can get clan gold nowadays, but 3,000 here is absolutely insane. So first of all, the price for this is absolutely insane. It's nice that they added it to the lower tiers, but honestly, for a clan to basically have access to this, you only need where is it? Right here, slot 6. You only need slot 6, which is relatively easy to obtain for most clans, but the amount of gold that you need on this is very prohibitive. And then the second part of this is that you only get 1/4 of a craft, which is nuts. They should basically, like, in my opinion, if they're gonna make it so expensive, they might as well just give us like a 5 limit, like a 5 full craft limit, because why not? Because it's so expensive. But giving us 1 craft limit on this is absolutely insane. Because if you look at the item pool, it's actually, 50-50 whether this gilded medallion would actually show up in this slot 6. Half the time you're going to get 4-star glyphs. So, if you break it down, CVC happens once every 2 weeks, for example, so you're going to get some gilded medallions there. And then this clan shop refreshes every week, so you're going to get some gilded medallions there. So half the time you're not going to get gilded medallions, so you're only going to get 2 of these relic crafts from the clan shop per month. 2. It doesn't make any sense why they would limit us so hard here, because most of the time it's just going to be food. They limit us so hard on these. At least make it so that there are at least a couple full crafts. Make it like 5, right? If it's going to be so expensive, make it 5. And obviously, I have a little bit of a gripe against the cost. It costs way too much, especially for players that don't play as seriously, to get even just one of these crafts, which is obviously almost always going to be a disappointment. It's very prohibitive. So first of all, I think this is a massive miss. If they're going to make it so expensive, at least up the limit. But I feel like they should have upped the limit and reduced the cost significantly. Maybe even make this half price and then give us the option to buy 5. Like, for example, like you can buy 10 of these accessories, and these accessories for 90 coins is a million times more impactful for a new account. Like, you can buy how many accessories for the 5 and 6 stars. These are a million times more impactful than buying one of these. It's absolutely insane. I guess you could argue that, hey, we have a lot of clan gold. For example, like my account has 100,000, almost 100,000 clan gold here. We need something to spend it on. Sure, give us something to spend it on. You could let us buy more of this stuff, for example. Why not? Why not give us more than one 5-star chicken for 3,000? Why not give us more than one void shard for 900, right? If anything, this probably should have been way more. They should have made this more expensive and then gave us a higher limit, for example, so that the odd time that it does show up in the shop, we can just buy a bunch of void shards. Regardless, I think this is a pretty big miss from Plarium and one of the bigger gripes I have currently. After that, we have the currently ongoing Minotaur that's happening. We have a boosted, what is it? It's super raids. We have super raids active for Minotaur. Now this is huge, right? This is really good. We've been asking for Minotaur super raids for forever. And this improves quality of life for people that grind Minotaur for scrolls. So if you guys don't know, you guys can buy scrolls for champions. It's cost you 800 gems. You get those scrolls right away. But if you can do stage 15 and you spend energy, convert it from gems, the total gem spend would be about 650 gems. So you save a little bit of gems that way. You also acquire about 1.1 million silver if you complete all the runs in Minotaur. And you gain about 50 or 51 levels of experience. So there's a lot of benefit to grinding Minotaur. But the big negative is time. So now Plarium's giving us super raids, which basically takes away some of the time aspect penalty of it all. But they're only saying that this is going to be a temporary thing. However, they did hint that perhaps this will come back in the future. They hinted that the other dungeons had to go through this kind of trial process before they implemented it full time. Now, I can get that. This is kind of a net negative proposal from Plarium because they're giving us super raids, which basically makes, running Minotaur manually more enticing for people to do. And nobody's going to say, hey, they're giving us super raids for Minotaur. I guess I'll spend more gems and buy my masteries instead. I don't think anybody's saying that. So it's definitely a net negative for Plarium. But come on, man. This is some low-hanging fruit that they can give the community. This is a big quality of life for people, especially for people just starting the game. They can, grind some Minotaur, save some resources, allocate resources differently, gain some silver and all that. There's so much benefit here from doing Minotaur. It's just a little bit of time. And now with super raids, some of that time is alleviated. Hopefully Plarium does the right thing. Anything short of not putting this permanently in the game would be a massive, massive miss from Plarium. They're not giving up too much here. People that buy masteries probably will still continue buying masteries because it saves time. But this really helps out, especially the newer players out there, trying to eke out everything from their existing resources. So hopefully they will allocate the super raids here forever. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about here, this artifact crafting system. So recently they made this quick craft feature here. It's actually incredibly good. It's a massive, massive time saver. I mean, I can't imagine somebody on mobile having to sit through all of these animations one by one or having to sift through all the gear one by one. So having this quick craft with select filters here is very, very nice. You can do it quickly. It also helps with just basically bursting out points for like CVC and all that. Well, the big thing about this is that the Forge is a massive source of, first of all, gear for earlier mid-game counts, even some late game and even into the end game. It does provide a lot of gear. For example, you still use lethal gear, and obviously all the purchase sets are obviously very decent. But the big thing about the Forge is that it gives you CVC points, which is really helpful, and it gives you silver. Now, silver is one of the biggest gripes in this game from a lot of people. Most people have, constant issues with silver, regardless of how long they've been playing. And the Forge definitely helps with that. Now, the big thing with the Forge is that the limiting factor is actually not the materials you get. You can kind of see all the materials you get here, like 375. I got tons of these crafts. Look how many crafts I have. I have tons of crafts. But the big limiting resource here is actually Magi Steel. We don't get enough of this Magi Steel. Farming Classic Arena, I do about 200 fights a week. That's, pretty regular gameplay doing Classic Arena. And in a month, I maybe get 4,000, 5,000 Magi Steel. Now, I can instantly burn through 5,000 Magi Steel very, very quickly, especially with this new quick craft option. So you give us this system, but you hard limit us with Magi Steel. There's no real ways for us to earn Magi Steel other than grinding Classic Arena. Now, I finished my Great Hall a long time ago. I still do Classic Arena because of Magi Steel. And I think this is a big thing. I think this is something that Plarium can definitely look at. And this would help the silver economy for the entire game. This would give people more ways to get silver from the Forge. Of course, acquiring the Magi Steel, they could either increase the rate at which we get it from Classic Arena. Maybe they can throw Magi Steel in the Classic Arena chest at the end of the week. They could throw it in Faction Wars. They could throw it in Doom Tower Secret Rooms. Honestly, they can throw Magi Steel in so many places as just a extra resource. But the thing is, we need more of it. And the more we get of it, the better it is overall for the players. And I don't think it's asking too much, because in order to benefit off Magi Steel, you still need to participate in all other areas of the game. For example, Faction Wars, you still need to basically get, all these materials from events and stuff. So you still have to participate in the game. It's not like you get Magi Steel and you instantly get silver. No, you don't. You still have to do lots of stuff in the game. And then you can convert your Magi Steel into things like silver, into things like gear, into things like CVC points. Now, I think even just doubling the rate at which we get Magi Steel, I think would be massively, massively impactful for players, especially suffering with silver issues. I think this tackles many different issues, but I think for Plarium, it's probably a net negative for them, right? It's not going to increase players' overall engagement if they're just receiving more resources just from stuff that they're already doing. So I think for Plarium to actually implement more Magi Steel into the game, they probably need to, have us engage in more different ways. Another farmable crafted set would be pretty cool. Maybe we can farm like some kind of boss that they were hinting at in the future, and then we can get some more gear crafting materials would be cool. But like I said, guys, the Magi Steel is the big limiting factor here, and we need more of it in order to basically tackle things like silver. And I think it would have a big impact on everybody's silver stocks if they had just more Magi Steel and more crafts coming their way. Anyways, guys, those are some gripes I have with this game. I know Plarium, first of all, they tried to make things better for the player base, but overall, they actually made things either worse or they highlighted issues that needed to be fixed. Anyways, guys, you guys let me know in the comments below if you guys agree or disagree on these. Are these actually glaring issues? Have you guys noticed them in your daily gameplay? Would you like to see them changed? Do you not care? Let me know in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the content, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Would really, really appreciate that, of course. Thanks so much for watching until the end. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.